It's that time of the week for the nerds and the geeks. WYBNOO. What you been nerding out on? It's been a week, 7 days, and we got much to say. So take it away, no further delay.
Hello, my name is Jacob Jones, and welcome to What You've Been Nerding Out On, or WYBNOO. Today I'm joined by Steve, Foxy Steve, aka, who's really been nerding out on tabletop RPGs for what seems to be a long time and a lot of his weeks. So let's get straight into his introduction. Who are you? Where do you come from? And what do you do?
I, of course, am Foxy Steve. I hail from the great, quote unquote, great state of Ohio, from the Cleveland area. I can't remember the rest of what you just said.
And what do you do?
Okay. Like for like a living or?
I mean, when I wrote that question, I intended it to be that, but everyone takes it a different way. And so I just say, whatever you want to say.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, by day, I am a insurance auditor for workers' compensation policies.
Oh, wow.
And and which is just reviewing a lot of like small businesses, payrolls and documents and their operations and doing a lot of investigation to make sure they're not telling lies.
What's the most brutal injury?
Oh man, that's a good one. They review a lot of claims. I've seen some crazy stuff like nothing like a lost leg, but I have seen stuff like coworkers getting in fist fights.
Shit.
That's not something.
No,
that's not a thing you can put a claim on.
Yeah,
that's
you should file a police report, sir.
I've
all right.
It's crazy things. Like I've seen Jeffrey Epstein's death certificate.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Crazy stuff on this line of work.
I hope the CIA is not after you now.
Probably
shit.
not. I've audited one of Trump's hotels.
Let's go. All right, cool.
Wow,
did you have to go inside?
Threatened to blow up a building. No, wow. I am a remote auditor, so I just do everything from home, from the computer and stuff. So I don't have to deal with any of that shit.
Yeah, let's stay away from.
We do
Trump
see people
Tower.
out in the field, so
yeah,
stay far away. Far away.
Let's see.
But yeah, by day I do that, and of course by night I am a content creator, streaming on Twitch, making videos, putting them on YouTube, trying to figure out new interesting things to do.
Hell yeah!
And of course, TTRPGs.
There you go. Awesome. A lot of dungeon mastering from this guy right here. So what have you been nerding out on, aka tabletop RPGs? Let's talk about it.
Bingo. I would say I'm fairly recent, but when I think about it, time flies because I got into D&D probably in like 2017.
Mm-hmm.
When I got at my last job, one of my coworkers was a huge D&D fan, and even before that, I was watching Easy Allies. That was my first introduction to D&D. Was watching Easy Allies because they had a D&D show. This is back when they were just in their garage doing it.
That's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. It was a long time ago. And I was always kind of interested. I used to volunteer at this convention in Columbus called Origins for a long time. And so I would see TTRPGs there. I even had a couple of books that I would get as part of like what they would give you for volunteering at these conventions, not really knowing anything about it. Like before that, my last D&D exposure was the awful Marlon Wayans Dungeons and Dragons movie from like the 2000s, which is it is so bad. Oh, it's so bad, man. The best part of that movie is Marlon Wayans' character dying.
Oh my God.
It is so fucking terrible. Like the new one blows it out the water. Like it's
totally. Absolutely. Oh, it's from 2000?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't got a window. Hold on. There.
Yeah, look at this gem. Look at this gem of a film.
It's a big old
you can see
yikes.
Oh god.
3.7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's about right. That's
Let's
about right
see.
up there with Rain of Fire.
Oh, hey, I like Rain of Fire. I'm an
I have the
apologist.
DVD somewhere. I'm not gonna lie, I do got the DVD somewhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um,
So yeah,
bad
like
movie.
Dungeons and Dragons, bad effing movie. Like that
There.
was my,
Mhm,
my introduction. It was that movie, and then it was those conventions. I knew it was super nerdy.
mhm. Yeah.
SpongeBob. Are thou stealing it now, Mister Krabs? And,
What about the
but then
cartoon,
yeah,
like the old school cartoon? I think it was on Disney Channel.
I didn't watch it. I know it. I know it exists. But I
Mhm.
did not watch it.
This show right here.
Yeah, this one here.
Yeah, it was weird. It was like they basically like they were like from Earth and then they went into like a D&D world, so it was like basically an isekai.
Oh wow, on the first isekais.
Yeah, one of the first isekais ever was the D&D show. And there you can see all the classes there. You got the barbarian, the paladin, the ranger.
Ranger,
Looks like a druid,
monk,
maybe a monk. Yeah, wizard,
maybe one of them. The wizard, yeah, sorcerer,
sorcerer
probably.
probably or cleric.
Hmm.
Um, yeah,
Not a bad
and
party comp. I mean, they might live like a session.
I mean that's a lot of players in one party.
It's a
Like
lot. It's a lot of players.
that is like the story of my life as a DM. Is like now I have too many people to deal with.
Let's see. The campaign I'm running right now has, I think it just has 4 player characters, but then I'm also a player NPC character, which was not the intention,
Mhm.
but that's how the story went, and the character kind of got dragged along for the ride. And then I retconned it and made it seem like, oh, I was always there watching over you.
I mean, it's what you got to do. You got to slowly
Yeah.
make things make sense as you go through the years
Exactly.
of
I gotta
playing.
be careful what I reveal. I'm not sure who will be watching or not, so I have to be careful with what I say about the current campaign, but it should be
Don't tell
fine.
us any spoilers. There's no spoilers allowed here. Okay, so we'll keep it.
No spoil. I
You can
won't.
tell us
No
like
spoils.
the history a little bit. Like we definitely got to talk about your games. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about like tabletop RPGs themselves. Like what are they? You know, if someone's like, the hell are these guys talking about? What would you tell them as an
I
introduction?
would tell them. I would tell them a TTRPG is pretty much exactly how it sounds, right? Tabletop role playing game. So I tell people when I explain it to people, I kind of imagine you're playing like a video game, but rather than you controlling a character on screen, you are the character at the table, right? And you're making all these choices, and and people, and you can, like, you kind of fall into that character. You think about what choices they're going to make, and you make classes like you would in a video game. You have
Mm-hmm.
stats that you go by to help govern your decisions and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. You're rolling dice to determine the outcome of things. And at a very base level, that's kind of how I explain it to people. Like,
Yeah.
you pretty much get to assume the role of another person, like you're almost acting, like in a play
Mm-hmm.
almost, but just with your friends, and it's around a game.
You're playing a role.
You're playing a role. It's so self-explanatory. It's crazy.
If I swear, if you say that to someone, you're like, now you get it. But you just got to roll dice. You know, typically, not all the time. There's all sorts of RPGs out there that don't use it. There's different dice. Like there's always the polyhedral dice that everyone thinks of when you think like
Yeah.
D&D, tabletop games, stuff like that, right?
Yes,
Which
indeed. You
I
got
have,
your.
yeah, I got just a D20 in here at the moment, but all my stuff's in the other room, which I should have grabbed, and I
Let's see
might
if I can get
still.
up there. If I can
That's a
get a
good one.
little image on it. Yeah.
This just came from my Poundo dice. It's just like a random D20 from. I bought one on Amazon once a long time ago. Pound of dice, random.
Oh, yeah. I have this gigantic bag that just happened to just various different dice in there, and then I went to teach people how to play D&D in person for
Mhm.
a friend's event, and then I was like, ooh, and it's just to get more dice, and so I bought like a set of 5 more to like give
Sick.
away for people who wanted some.
That's awesome. And people appreciate that kind of thing too. Like, um, I just think these days, like when I do talk to people about tabletop stuff. Like they're like, "Oh, I'll buy my own dice," and I'm always like, "Great, cool. That means you're like
I mean,
you actually care about this,
yeah,
You're not
it's so
gonna
funny. 'Cause I
half-ass it."
expected no one to have any. Like, I expected no one to have any dice, so I brought all these. And then one player brought out this fucking huge case of metal dice. I'm like, sir,
See, the metal
what the
dice.
hell?
All right, y'all need to chill out with your fucking metal dice. All right,
Oh,
guess what you're doing? You're just throwing metal onto it like a table, onto a wooden table, just to, like fuck it up, or like it might be a board or
oh,
mat. You might be like
oh no! You
scratching
better
that
bring
shit
your.
up.
If you bring them dice at my table, have a dice tray with you too, because okay, like have
Yeah.
a dice tray for those fucking dice.
Make sure that shit is also metal. By the way,
Exactly.
here's a
One of my
set.
buddies. Ooh,
Yeah, Enjoy
oh,
got
those are
me this
pretty.
sick ass dice box with it,
Oh,
which has
nice.
like it pretty much looks like the Skyrim dragon, but it's not.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's Elderwood Academy. Pretty cool
That
one.
is so dope.
We were talking about like just randomly about like playing D&D online and stuff. And I think I was talking to Arturo about this, friend of the show. I don't know if I was talking to you too, but like basically like y'all like you play D&D online, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah. We started in person, but then COVID happened and it changed everything. So
right, I like playing in person because it's just a fun activity, but it's just so hard to do. Especially because you might know people like online that can't be there in your city or at your house or whatever. My only gripe with it, and I'm sure there's a solution, is just like I want to still roll dice physically playing those.
I mean, when COVID first happened and we didn't really have a real solid setup for it yet. We didn't have like a virtual tabletop yet or anything like that.
Mhm.
So I was just trusting my players to roll and not fudge the dice,
Yeah.
basically. So I still had the DM screen up. You could see it on camera. We all had webcams, so we had our cameras all on. And if I sensed you were fudging, then there'd be a problem. But I was just trusting people to roll how they roll. It's all about
Yeah.
how much you trust your players, pretty much.
Right.
Before we was able to shift to a virtual tabletop, because there is something to be said for feeling like you have a little more control when you get to roll your own dice. Virtual tabletop can feel like it almost can. It's supposed to be random, but it can feel skewed.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. So like I'm sure there's like ways to like change the roll or like do what you got to do within a virtual tabletop to still roll dice. Like whatever I'm playing, I'm just saying like I'm going to figure out how to make sure that we can roll physical dice if we want to. Cuz for me then I don't even want to play if I can't roll the dice. It's like less
Yeah,
fun,
I mean,
you know?
yeah,
Then
it
let's
really
just play
comes down to
a video game at that point.
right. Yeah, I mean, it really comes down to just the agreement of you have with the players at the table, whether it's
Exactly.
virtual or not. If you want to roll physical dice, you can.
Mhm.
We did get used to rolling digital die because it just made things faster.
Right.
It made doing the math quicker, and then we use Foundry, which allows to have
Mhm.
mods installed
Right.
and automation for things, and so it just. And now those mods can break, and then it makes things worse, and makes things slow and awful. But when everything's thinking and working,
Yeah.
then it's just like automatic saving throws and automatic
Yeah.
damage for when things hit. It just because D&D's combat can be slow, and
It
so
takes a
anything that
while.
can kind of speed that up, and get people's turns
Yeah.
going, then it's great.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like give the option to a group, and say like if you want to roll, you can. The monsters and stuff, I would just like I would allow the tabletop to roll for that and stuff. I'm just saying for like me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like maybe a specific monster or like monster group if I was DMing or something. Like just a mixture would be fine. But I just like that. Like we're over here collecting dice. We can't even use it. It's
Right? We
like
have all these
whack.
fucking dice. Like I get so sad looking at my dice. Like I want to knock the dust off them, you know?
Yeah, so that's my gripe with virtual tabletoping. So if we could just make it work where some people can roll dice and other people don't have to, and you just make that work, then it's fine. I'm totally on board. I just spilled my drink.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit.
It's just carbonated water. It's fine. There's no sugar or anything.
Oh.
But I'm like, I should probably wipe this off. Anyway, getting back to just tabletop RPGs, I just wanted to make that little aside with virtual tabletops because that's how most people play. And of course, there's like the in-person, but you could do it online. Like however you're doing is fine as long as you can get it done and have fun. But it always like the thing about tabletop RPGs typically is that it's not a solitary experience. It's a social experience, right? And
Exactly.
That's what's great about it, right?
It's collaborative storytelling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like D&D, as a dungeon master, you may be making like the world and stuff, but there's still collaboration happening. Like the dungeon master is like setting a scene, but a good dungeon master will be able to, do some like improvisation. Like there's a lot of stuff that players will be doing that you don't plan for. And so you have to be like, all right, this is what happens or whatever. So it is very collaborative, but there are other systems that like push that even further where like the DM can, or whoever the game person is running the game, isn't really supposed to plan like much, just very basic things. And then everything that happens and even the settings, even the environments are shaped by the entire table, which I think is cool too. So like there's a lot of types of tabletop RPGs. Have you any experience with anything besides D&D?
I'm just dipping my toes into Pathfinder, the newest edition of it. Because all I knew was D&D 5e.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started at.
Nice.
That's what my dungeon master ran his whole campaign through, all 201 sessions of it.
Damn.
Over since 2020, I think when that started.
Wow.
For this iteration of it anyway. And so then we decided, because by the time we got done with it, then you can really feel the aches and pains and what you like and don't like of 5e by the end.
Right.
And we wanted something that would take a little more than randomness out, that would let you be rewarded a little bit more for strategy. Because in D&D the game is so imbalanced that as a dungeon master, the challenge rating system is entirely broken. So basically, that's how you determine the difficulty of combat for your players.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't take into account a lot of stuff. It doesn't take into account items. It doesn't take into account any other kind of like addition of D&D they've put into it, like additional like content they've added to the game.
Right.
There's those base challenge ratings. So then you go to make a combat scenario and it's like, this should be easy. For example, I had one where I was like, it was a one-on-one session, and I put a snake in there, a venomous snake, knocked the player.
Yeah,
I
those
had
things
to roll
are fucking crazy, dude.
to see if they got saved, and they got saved by like a bear. And then there was one. I made these boss fights, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be too hard. Well, this should be really challenging. Washed.
Yeah,
I'm like, how?
Yeah, I mean, it's like. Because there's a lot of factors, right? Like, it depends on the type of characters. It depends on, like you said, the magic items they may have that contribute things. I don't know.
There's a lot of variables. There's a lot of variables that the system doesn't take into account.
True.
And just kind of the speed in which and your combat options, like the action economy, can be kind of frustrating. So by the time we got done with 5e, we're like, well, let's try a new system. And so we're actually in the midst of that. So right now we are his second campaign, which we didn't even realize till the end of the last one was connected. The last one was a prequel to this campaign. And our characters, like my character became a god at the end of that one, and now it's part of the pantheon in this one. So that's pretty neat.
That's cool.
And so now we're in Pathfinder, and we are kind of learning that. I'm also going to be buying the Daggerheart book, the rule set, to try that out.
Cool. Yeah.
I also have Deadlands. Well. I have the Deadlands system, so I want to give that a shot. I'm just kind of really beginning to look out to that wider world.
Yeah.
Of TTRPGs.
So Pathfinder, from what I hear, is pretty much D&D 3.5, but tooled differently, right? Like it spun off and certain things were reworked as well, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was that system. Then it spun off. There was a lot of OGL, open game license issues back in the
Oh
day,
yeah.
and so people didn't like that. And so yeah, Paizo split off of there and turned it into Pathfinder.
Mhm.
And now with the latest edition, they kind of just basically took all of the other D&D isms out of the game to
Mhm.
make it truly more unique to them. But it's still like it rolls off a D20, it's a D20 based system.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff is the same. There's just some key differences, like how action economy works and things like that.
Right. I mean, is there still like 5-foot step and shit like that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically,
Yeah.
there's like you can step to then give yourself fire free from an enemy without them attacking you.
Yeah.
And there's like 3 actions per turn, and different things take various different amounts of actions to do and
Mhm. Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yeah, see like
So
that's
you can like build characters too. It's very like
yeah.
modular.
That's good. Yeah. 3.5 was always like a fun system. The only problem that like people got from it eventually is like the power ceiling just got way too big, and people would just be taking like a million actions and just doing so much damage and shit, and like so but Pathfinder is super popular, and like I'm sure they have refined things and made it like a good alternative to Dungeons and Dragons. I still haven't tried it
Yeah,
myself.
it's probably the second most popular one if I had to
Mhm.
guess.
Yeah. Yeah, which is
So
cool.
and it's got OGL. So if I were to make, because I'm working on another campaign after this one,
Hmm.
and I won't be using D&D for it because I don't want Wizards of the Coast to come from my property, to come from my IP.
Yeah. Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that.
No,
There's like
can't
a
trust them.
million systems though, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
and even if you have done like some work on a campaign, um like you've still established a world, you still have a story, and you still have like maps and shit, like ideas for like maybe encounters, like monsters that might be in there, puzzles and stuff. All of that shit works in like basically any other tabletop game. You just have to slightly adjust it. The technical stuff is obviously where you'll have to do the most work. But like honestly, like if you took any of your campaigns, you could probably run it in any other tabletop game, even if they're not rolling dice. You know what I mean? And that's the good thing about like just writing stuff. Um, no one
oh,
can take that from
absolutely.
you. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty
Like that's a
much.
story. It's a
It really just
world.
comes down to like player preference and my preference of what it feels like, and kind of just what system best kind of fits whatever kind of
Hmm.
type of game I want to run, basically.
Yeah.
Like the campaign I'm doing right now is like high fantasy. It's set in Critical Role's world of Exandria because it was the first campaign I ever put together. It is still a homebrew, but I'm like, well, we'll just use D&D for this. Is all I know.
Hmm.
The other campaign I'm doing is darker and it's more narrative based, and it's got a lot of espionage, and I'm putting in custom mechanics based on like your trust value with factions and stuff like that. So
Sick.
um, so that one I think could fit one that has less crunchy stuff going on in
Nice.
terms of like, mechanics and stuff. Like I think like Daggerheart has is more focused on narrative and storytelling.
Right.
Could work better for something like that kind of campaign.
Yeah. See, I
But I gotta
like.
try it. So
Yeah, I want to try it as well. And all these systems have like their ups and downs. Absolutely. Like D&D's biggest problem is that everything takes so fucking long. Essentially because of how insanely complicated it is, and it's like, but that's just what D&D is. It's like all these classes, all these abilities, all of these things you have to remember, all these spells. It's
it's a
insane.
strategy game.
Yeah.
It's a
Yep.
tactical kind of strategy game first, really, and then the role playing is
Mhm.
supporting that.
Yeah, but
Um,
I always like to establish like a story in a world. I just also like combat. And D&D I think is fun, and I just keep wanting to try to like make a group, and they usually like kind of fall apart. But again, I haven't tried an online group. That could be the answer. We'll see, whatever. But like I said, there's all these other systems we're talking about. Quick question on D&D, like the 2025 version, like the new version that just kind of came out. Like people are calling like 5.5. Have you looked into it at all?
Here and there, it's kind of hard not to, because with
Right.
D&D, cause a lot of our stuff is based on information that comes out of D&D Beyond and the information there, and it kind of goes into Foundry, and then Foundry will also update all of their stuff around it too. So
Yeah.
even if I wanted to stick with all the base 5e stuff, some things get like overwritten, and then I have to choose what to drop and stuff. So I pretty much tell my
Yeah.
players, look, whatever we decide to do, if there's like cool things you see in 2025 you want, we can talk about it and keep it.
Yeah.
It sucks having to like pivot. Like certain things we did take already. Like there's a better cure wounds in 2025 that heals better than the base. So we said, let's do that. We'll take that from it.
Right.
Certain class features came over automatically. So I was like, well, you know what? We can try it. And if we hate it, then we can ignore it.
Yeah, I didn't know that Beyond did that, and like people were playing with me, and I was like yelling because that's what I do. People are like arguing rules with me. I'm like gonna yell at you, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that because I'm looking at a book. You know what I'm saying? I have a physical book I'm reading out of, and it automatically updated that shit, and I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. Now I understand the misunderstanding. Also, was really drunk. So that
would do it too.
That's kind of a sucky situation.
That would do it.
But
it's
we fucking
definitely
Wizards
had
of the
issues like
Coast
that in the
fault.
past, though.
You know?
Yeah, they make it such a pain in the ass. And even when you're making a character on there, like they don't make it clear to how to even get to the OG stuff to make your character using OG roles. You have to kind of dig into the menus, get lost in those to then get to the OG 5e stuff, because it's going to put 2025 front and center.
Right.
So you got to get into you got to really dig for the legacy content to make a character based off of that. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I took a break because of my health issues, but I'm feeling way better. So I already put a date to come back. So I may, I don't know, I may take some time to look through it and be like, well, okay, you guys just want to fucking do this.
The next D&D 5e session or group or whatever that I put together, which I do want to keep running my campaign. I just don't know if I want to start it over yet again, or like kind of like again soft reboot it and say, oh, all this stuff happens, fast forward to now, and just kind of I don't know, who knows. But whatever that happens, I'm going to use the 2025 version and just say like whatever. I just have to buy the new books and reread everything and relearn this entire fucking system. Just so annoying. This is why I like in person. You know what I mean? Like, fuck D&D Beyond, basically. Like, I want it to die. Okay? It's so annoying. It's so lame.
Understandable. I mean, our plan is we try to cleave ourselves off of it as much as humanly possible. Yeah. But with certain character classes, it's really hard because some certain like spellcasters, it would be such a pain trying to get every spell put into your character sheet without D&D Beyond because there's so much. So like if you're not a spellcaster, we can just ignore it.
I just use bookmarks. Everybody has their own book. That's a thing. In our person, group, everyone had their own book.
It is it is a lot easier in person.
I'm just saying, this is why I like in-person groups, because it's easier to let's just all get books and roll dice and like. But it just can't be simple anymore. So, I'm just an old man shouting at the clouds.
I get it. Hey, look.
That's what I'm doing. Because I've been playing since high school, okay? Man,
you got miles on me.
I played in 2003 or something is when I first started playing. And everyone will always have started earlier than you, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? So that's not a feat. But I'm just saying, like, I remember those days of, like, going to a friend's house and then everyone's playing and we have the soda, we have the pizza, and it's just ridiculous. But hey, again, just an old man shouting in the clouds. There's nothing better or worse. It's just preference. I just like, I like what I like, but I'll try this online stuff.
Nothing wrong with it for sure, though.
Yeah, we're just all mad at Wizards of the Coast for various reasons.
Pretty much, we can all unite over that.
Yeah, and we're all basically trying to say, maybe we play a different tabletop game. So let's talk about a couple more of those really quick. Have you checked out any of like the Powered by the Apocalypse system?
No, what is that?
So Powered by the Apocalypse is a system that came from a game called Apocalypse, and it is like it created that system, and so that's where the term Powered by the Apocalypse PBTA comes from. The way it basically works is like it's like way simplified. It's very much narrative based. Like I said earlier, this is what I was alluding to. It's a game that's about everyone telling the story. Like there's a game master that kind of sets things up, but like even where you're at or what you're doing specifically could come up to someone else's decision, and that's what makes it really interesting. And the system runs off two 6-sided dice, so it's like normal dice, if you will. And then you just have like a better or worse chance at doing something. A lot of times in the system, like mortality is a big problem. So if you fuck up, you could just easily die, and it's kind of like set episodic typically, or at least the one I played. But yeah, it seems like a really interesting, super quicker and way more storytelling, collaborative type of system. So I would recommend you look into that. But then there's also like shit like Gloomhaven, you know?
I've seen Gloomhaven. I've seen the board game, this massive fucking box that it comes in, and it's like crazy expensive, and it's got like miniatures. I wasn't sure if that wasn't a full RPG or if that was just a board game or both. I know it's expensive, so I haven't bought it.
It's kind of both. It's sort of like a dungeon crawling. It is a straight up like tabletop game, but like in a board game form, and that's why there's so much in there, and it's really expensive.
Like, there's this game shop in Vegas that I go to every time I'm there called We Play Games, and every time I go to We Play Games, they have freaking Gloomhaven there. I'm like, oh man, I want to just put it on my my luggage to take back, but I'm like, oh god, it's so expensive.
Yeah, no, I know every time too. Where's We Play Games at?
Oh man, I wish I could remember exactly, because I've been there a few times.
There's two game places in Vegas, if you there's that I know of, just being a local. There's one in Town Square, and I always forget the name of it, and I'll look it up. But there's also the Little Shop of Magic, and they're like kind of on the west side of town. So I recommend both. Let me look up the name of the other one. But yeah, as you can see, like with Gloomhaven, there's all these tokens. There's a bunch of monsters. Here's what the table looks like. You know what I mean? Like there's abilities. Like this is a hefty board game.
Hefty.
But I mean, I'm bringing this game up specifically because like, okay, tabletop RPGs. What do we picture? There's a book, right? There's some dice, maybe paper. Maybe a guy has a laptop and he's telling you stuff, or he's got a big like you said, a DM screen, almost like a big old
DM
binder.
Screen.
Show us your DM screen. Got something.
Yeah, this one was a gift given to me by one of my players.
Mm-hmm.
It's it was printed on like this wood.
That's sick. So
there's the back of it.
And
then the front of it is like this.
Nice.
And you can crack that sucker open. Now it's kind of broken, but
oh no.
But yeah, and it's got all the little treats in there, or all your little bits and bobbles that you need to run a game in case somebody wants to know how much an end costs for the night. You can be like, oh, I guess it's all 5 gold pieces.
Yeah,
that's expensive.
You gotta, that's a lot. That's a lot. At a palace.
That's a lot of money. You get your meal with that, and you get a lady of the evening.
Yeah, you better get like a fucking soak in the hot spring, the royal hot spring.
Exactly. You get the effects of a long rest off of it. No, that's not expensive enough.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, if it's magical, I mean, shit. It's like, all right, you get one bardic inspiration dice just to spend.
Exactly.
Just to spend.
You
like,
get one inspiration die. Yeah. You get a D6.
There you go. See, now that's improv, man. That's the fun thing about game mastering, is just kind of like trying to. I like telling stories and like writing and stuff. It's something
that's my favorite thing.
Back in the day.
That's my favorite thing. Yeah, that's like the game. For me, the game stuff. I like combat. I like feeling strong and doing cool shit and everything. Mm-hmm. But for me, it all serves as a story. I love telling stories and
Yeah.
and seeing where things go and how things can spiral out and all the improv involved and
Yeah.
being a character and figuring out their voice and what they're going through and stuff. Like it's
Right.
when it's firing on all cylinders, I don't get any more like satisfaction than when I role play. It hits every creative thing I want to do pretty much.
Yeah, straight up. By the way, that place in Town Square is called Night and Day Games. It's
Night
pretty
and Day
big in there.
Games.
Yeah. There's like a
I
lot of
think
people
I
playing
know.
Pokemon and stuff in there.
I think We Play Games is in Henderson.
Oh yeah, that's the other side. Yep.
What could possibly go wrong?
I forgot I had the soundboard.
That's the worst. That's the worst thing you can say in D&D. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, everything.
That's
I have
from
stories.
That's from Super Nintendo Bubsy right there.
Oh my God, it is.
Yep.
Jesus.
I just like my soundboard. I need to add things to the soundboard, but I digress. Talking more about tabletop RPGs, like I said, so like that's what you imagine. Essentially, it's a theater of the mind. It is you're telling a story, you're playing it out through the mechanics, like we said, dice, whatever, to determine are you successful or do you fail? Do you live or do you die? Do you kill or do you spare? And then like the stories that come out of everything that the game master sets up or the group. There's sometimes there's a grid and shit like that. Sometimes there's nothing on the table, right? And you just kind of
and I've done both.
Yeah.
I've done theater of the mind. I've done esoteric stuff, concepts. I've done battle maps, grids. Sometimes all in the same campaign. Sometimes in the same fight. So yeah.
Nice. So when it comes to tabletop RPGs, we're typically thinking like fantasy, like Lord of the Rings type of shit. But that's not always true. I mean, there's Star Wars ones. There's ones based off of like video games. There's like dark sci-fi ones. I think there's one for like Alien, like the movies. There's like an Alien tabletop game.
There's definitely there's a Star Trek one. I think there's even a Star Wars one.
Yeah, there's a lot of Star Wars
buddy,
ones. A lot of them.
I think my buddy bought one. He bought one that's based on like anime and that kind of aesthetic.
Yes, there's also one that's like JRPGs, which has like a very JRPG name, and I keep forgetting. There's also Warhammer.
That's the one. Oh, I can't remember
Steven in the
called,
chat mentioning Warhammer, which is Warhammer is more like war gaming, but still a tabletop RPG because there's like still creatures that have health and shit that you got to keep track of, but that's more of a game that's like a big ass battleground. Like that's when you need the table itself, but that's still
you need the table. You need the
game.
minis,
Need
that kind of
minis.
thing. I was never in the Warhammer space. I haven't really done a whole lot of miniatures stuff.
Yeah,
but I have seen it, like kind of like volunteering at cons, man. The miniature section of those gaming halls.
See, that's
insane.
That's the kind. This is why another big reason why I like in person, because like I have a lot of tiles. I have like a wall system that if I wanted to make a dungeon with like actual like walls jutting out of the like they're like
you've got
little
3D,
foam wall things. Yeah, shit like that.
Man.
I could build the walls that way. I got like little trees and shit. Like I have like minis that I've collected over the years, and then usually like when we play in person, I'll be like, well, buy the mini of your guy, so you could like have your own character model, and we'll put it in the game as yourself. That's just fun to do that type of shit. Warhammer is like to the 100,000th degree because your army needs to physically be on the goddamn table. Like you have to buy it. It's almost like a card game, but like even more intense because it's like an unpainted little, sometimes die-cast metal, miniature that you have to paint yourself.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I have one miniature in my closet that's actually this gigantic dragon that was given to me as a gift. It's this
Sick.
huge thing. It's like this big. I'm like, this is great. I can't use this.
You're like, that's not a miniature, that's a maximature, sir.
That's a maximature, and I have not. The amount of times I play a person is so seldom. It's like when am I going to use this? But you know what? It'll be there in a pinch, I guess.
100%. But But yeah, so there's just like all these aspects. I mean, we're talking specifically about tabletop RPGs, so it's not like a card game, but I feel like there is card-based tabletop RPGs as well. I recently got a bundle that had it was for like a anti-ice California thing, so it was like, hey, sure, I'm down. I got the bundle and it had like 400 or 300 something like freaking tabletop games, and one of them was literally played with a deck of cards. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. It's like a way to tell a story basically based on cards and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. So there's like a lot of shit, but like getting back to some of the bigger ones, like I just Googled tabletop RPG, Blades of the Dark or Blades in the Dark. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of that. I've actually taken a bit from that for my campaign. They use these things called progress clocks to basically help the players know when consequences are going to happen. And it's kind of like skill challenges, but it puts a more tangible thing on that. So, and the last thing we did, there was this major storm, this crazy arcane storm was going to tear up this village, and I put a progress clock on there of when that was going to happen, and with each failure, it would advance the clock that direction, and with each success, it would advance a different progress clock. And there was multiple progress clocks throughout this for them to basically escape and stop this thing from happening. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of stole that from Blades in the Dark, and I also stole that because my DM used it, and I'm like, that was a cool idea in terms of it came from this. And so the progress clocks, I was like, oh, that's dope.
That's tight. Yeah, that sounds cool, man. I would definitely check this out. See, here's the thing, like, we're over here playing D&D and complaining about things when there's all these other systems we could be trying.
Exactly. Like that was my goal this summer.
Mm-hmm.
Was to try to like learn new systems and see what's out there. I know there's a new one that I think it just came out from MCDM. Mm-hmm. It's a guy named Matt Colville, and it's called Draw Steel. Draw Steel is a heroic style, and you don't even roll die to hit. You just roll dice for damage.
Oh, let's go. That's tight. I like that. I like the sound of that, man. That's awesome. That's just like a power fantasy.
It's exactly that. You're supposed to feel a lot more heroic, because like missing is never fun and stuff like that. And so they kind of set you like in other campaign, like to equate it to D&D in terms of levels. You pretty much start this game as like what you'd be like a level 3. You'd already be some kind of hero or adventurer already,
right?
Starting a game in that system.
See, that's awesome. I feel like I just want to like do one session or one like campaign for like each one of these systems, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was my thing. I want to do
That's
like
cool.
one shots, various one shots in all these different systems to see what best fits. I know with my players, I plan on doing something in my other campaign, my darker one, because I was running that one. The dark, it was called Dravenhelm. Whoa. And yeah, edgy. And it was that one I came up with while I was on pause from everything. And I wanted to at least start it. And it got to a point where I was simultaneously running 2 campaigns at the same time. It was insanity.
That's a lot.
It was a lot. So I was like, you know what? Let's not do that. Let me finish one. And then so that world is kind of sitting there. The map is made and stuff, but they do help me put it together in terms of what's in it. Nice. So I'm like, well, we can always do one shots in these different systems in any part of the world, and we can help build the world and try stuff out.
That's cool. That's a cool idea. Nice. I'm just gonna turn mine into content.
Well, that is the plan. I do nice. I got a plan off the.
We also
Turo's right, so many systems.
yeah, so many systems all the time. Hey, if you make a reason to do it, then you'll do it. There's also called Cthulhu, which I've always wanted to play because I
oh my
stuff.
God, I so badly want to both run and play in a Call of Cthulhu game.
Maybe this is where we do the crossover, where Like I can run one, you could run one.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
You know what I mean? We'll do them back to back.
Oh my god! I put Eldritch Horror in my own in my current campaign. I put in Eldritch Horror. Let me just have it. Let me just make it my goal to kill these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Because some people think that the DM is the enemy in these things, and that's not true. You're telling story together, and the DM just provides you challenges you overcome.
Yeah, see,
Now, if
Arturo
you get
can
yourself
run it.
killed,
We'll let Arturo run one of those.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Then we don't have to do anything. We can.
Yeah. We could just be players and then try to run one later or something. Who knows? I know that Arturo has expressed interest to like run like a one shot or something for a bunch of systems, and that's definitely what we're going to do. But I figure we know like between the three of us especially, like we're all DMs, so we can also split that load as well. So I think
wait a minute. We all have knives. We all have
hold
swords.
on a second. Hold on a second. Let me put this away. I'll let you stab this time. No. So there we have a lot of game masters, which I think is a good recipe. So I'm looking forward to doing some content like that. But yeah, for sure. Call of Cthulhu, that's one of them. Let's do a couple others. How's that sound?
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, there's they made a game based off it. Shadowrun.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, that was on this list as well. What do you think of that? I don't know much about it.
Oh, I'm not a forever GM. I am a player. I've been a player longer than I've been a GM for sure.
Nice.
I'm still learning. I don't think a lot of times for the longest time I thought I sucked. But my players always tell me otherwise. So I'm like, if they're happy, then that's all that matters.
Yeah, I'm a forever GM, so it's gonna be fun to be a player, for sure. But I
Cyberpunk, yeah, we can say things like
Cyberpunk
and Preem.
Yeah, Cyberpunk is also a tabletop RPG system. If you didn't know that, and you played Cyberpunk 2077, which seems cool, and I do want to try that out too. But let's talk about Shadowrun because I pulled it up already. So do you know anything about it, like how it works?
I don't know a lot of the details. I only know about Shadowrun because of the game that came out. And even, as a matter of fact, I knew about Shadowrun because of the cons I was at, and then the game came out. Wow, I feel old.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, they made a game based off of Shadowrun, and that's all I pretty much know. I know it. I know I know it combines magic and technology. I know that's the kind of the setting that it's in.
Cybernetics, magic, and fantasy creatures coexist. Cyberpunk, urban fantasy, and crime. Elements of conspiracy, horror, and detective fiction. Yeah, that sounds pretty fucking rad if you ask me, dude.
Right? It sounds dope.
Yeah. Fantasy cyberpunk. Hell yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, after Luke or Gage in the chat said, yeah, after my last playthrough of Cyberpunk, I got really into that world. Yeah, Cyberpunk is cool. Steampunk, I'm sure there's got to be a few steampunk fucking tabletop RPGs out there too, right?
Most likely. I mean, that's how I set my campaign in steampunk, like in the kind of like, because I wanted to do something. I might go on a tangent.
That's what this is for. This show's about tangents.
But when I started the campaign up, I based it in Critical Rose World because that's all I really. I was the most familiar with that world of Exandria, and I kind of felt weird doing it there. But then I saw like a video from Matt Mercer, and he was like, "Oh, just take this world and do whatever the hell you want with it." He loves looking at what people does with his world, and I go, "Oh, I feel free for some reason."
Yeah.
So yeah, I just set it up where magic went away for like 1,000 years, and so like society had to develop as it normally would. So it's set like right before the Industrial Revolution, and then magic suddenly comes back just like that. And so like people's like I imagine like there are situations where old family heirlooms suddenly come to life and people's houses explode, and it's just great. Pure chaos and. And now I moved even further forward to where they did stuff with time, and so now they came back, and now it's set in like the 1940s kind of. There's cars and there's radio, and I've got jazz playing all the time, and
that's great.
Very Fallout.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds very Fallout. Yeah, I had a similar idea for a story where it was like basically there there were gods that were on Earth. They just lived in on like a mountain or something. It's basically like Mount Olympus type of vibes. And there was magic everywhere, but then something happened and it split the worlds, and so the magic was gone. But the only way people could cast magic spells is to pray to the gods, like a cleric would, to get, magical powers. And so it took a lot of faith and dedication to these gods essentially. And then one day this prince finds a fucking like a magic boy who can just cast magic. And then there's hijinks from there. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, hijinks. We love hijinks.
That's a cool story idea I've had for a while. But yeah, similar kind of idea where it's like, oh, magic was there, but now it's gone, and then it's coming back. And it's sort of like Dragon Ball E too, in a way, which when you think about it, after having watched Dragon Ball original, I'm like, kind of Dragon Ball Y when you think about it. But yeah, it's just so fun to like come up with this type of shit. Like my other campaign is there's a big ass, like the world is a big ass tree. It's like basically an Yggdrasil, but it's like physically a tree and it's in the Feywild. Because the natural world was destroyed by like the evil guy way in the past, but people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, you told me about this setting.
Yeah.
That shit sounds so cool.
That's a big spoiler, just so you guys know. You know what I'm saying? But it's fine. It doesn't matter. People aren't gonna remember this when they play this game with me. But each of the biggest tree trunks like go to another dimension essentially. So like it's just like a way to have like an adventurers guild that lives in the middle where the tree is, and then they could just go to any like of these dimensions that are different like flavors to tell stories. Like there's more of a steampunky area, there's more of like a sailing area, there's like traditional, but then there's like the Viking area where it's all storms and big scary monsters, and there's like
that's such a dope. Exactly. That's such a great setting because you're not tethered to anything. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You've got the inciting thing. You have the perfect mechanic to give players a reason for those characters to go off on these adventures. They're a part of a guild. That's what they do. It's their job. It's like make characters. I always tell people if you're making a character in my game, make sure that they want to be on an adventure. I don't care what the reason is. Yeah, okay, don't make characters that don't want to go on an adventure because that means you just don't want to play.
Right. If you want to make those characters, we can make them like they could work at the fucking guild house and you could come back and talk to them and stuff and whatever, That was the other thing too, is like they essentially inherited a building that they have to fix up to like make the adventurers guild, so they have to go around and like build up reputation in each of these realms so that people know about them. And then like once they had finished that, which they were almost done doing in this campaign, then like I could just have like quests roll in and they could just like choose which place to go, and do whatever, and then I could just build things off of that. It was kind of fun. It was kind of a cool idea. Maybe one day I can revisit it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Hey, it doesn't have to be D&D. It could always be like any of these other fucking games.
It can be any other system. Yeah,
that's right. There's a whole bunch of them. Any other personal stories from like any of your campaigns or anything like that? Let's talk about shit that you've done, because the games that you've run and the things you've told me that happens in them. Like, there's a fucking MCU characters. Like,
oh my god,
it gets really crazy. So like, I need you to talk about this part. I think we've covered enough about what this stuff is. Like, if you want to know more about just tabletop RPGs and stuff, look it up. You could always start with D&D, but like, we'll talk a little bit more about like what to recommend. But now we need to hear your personal stories. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh man, there's stories. So the MCU stuff. So my dungeon master, we do stuff in there that's based off the multiverse. The campaign was primarily set in the Forgotten Realms, in Faerun fantasy stuff. And then he likes to just pull in stuff he likes into these things. And we find different ways of doing that. And all the superhero stuff came in post main campaign, where there was to be a 7-year time skip, basically.
Okay.
And this was a situation where we have played multiple characters in this campaign. And there was a point where we had two separate parties. We had the main party, and then something happened to them, and they were trapped. And so then we had this other party that were lower level because we wanted to do something a little different. And then we ended up getting attached to them. And so this kind of follows that lower level character whose name is Dutch. And he basically started out super dark all my characters have these dark backstories where his parents were murdered by my previous D&D character.
That's hot.
Because his mind was controlled and it was this whole thing, but he got better. And the other character, he's an archer. Arcane archer was a fighter as the class. And once the campaign ended, he wanted to do something to basically to get stronger. And so then the witch queen Igwilf, who we're friends with in this campaign, gave me a business card that said shield on it.
Shield. Very nice.
Yes. And so I eventually took her up on that offer. So because we had this big evil thing to stop in the future. So I go away from all of my friends. Because by the end of the campaign, we all became friends. Everything was great.
Nice.
And so then my character became less of a sociopath because he didn't have like human empathy for a while there because of what happened to him as a kid. But he began to learn to feel things and realize what friends were and to not kill people.
That's good.
But then he went to this other shard, Earth, a version of Earth anyway, because it was the last remaining Earth because they all got destroyed. And so on this particular Earth, all the DC heroes and the Marvel heroes kind of all just wound up here. And he knows I love DC. He knows I love comic books and shit. So it was a very narrative heavy 7-year skip of me getting stronger over the years, working through S.H.I.E.L.D., meeting Iron Man, meeting Hawkeye and Green Arrow and learning under them. Eventually leading a team of Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Green Arrow. And then eventually like Iron Man died. And so they put me in charge of all of the Avengers, all of these heroes all together. Like Nick Fury, who was Samuel L. Jackson, had me lead everybody.
Who was Samuel L. Jackson, just so you know?
Who was Samuel L. Effin Jackson. I fought Doomsday. I got punched in the chest by Doomsday and hit a building.
Motherfucker, that's right.
That's right. And it was just this crazy ride. It's probably some of my favorite stuff of him just growing over the years. And it eventually got into a relationship with that world's Yelena from like the Black Widow movies.
Okay.
I eventually got into a relationship with her and crazy stuff. Florence Pugh, exactly.
Nice.
Which is hilarious because one of our players is that character in they look just like them anyway. And so this was their doppelganger.
Whoa.
So that was an awkward interaction when that happened. But eventually, I got stronger. That world eventually got destroyed towards the end by the great old ones. And we all escaped just in time. But I had like a freaking Lamborghini by the end of it.
Great. That's great. You got to give yourself a Lambo. It's got to have it's got to have like a flying mode too. Let's get that bitch flying in the air.
Exactly. We had Quinjets and everything, and I would go back to Favorite and I have a smartphone and people are like, "What are you even doing?" "Oh, I'm working. Sorry, I gotta."
You have a magic square. Get your magic square out of my face.
So it just we fought the Terminator, like that happened. Cyberdyne was involved in some evil plot with Batman's version of Bane from Dark Knight Rises.
I don't think there's gonna be any like 5G in Faerun though.
We magic cell phones.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good in the hood.
Magic Wi-Fi.
Magic Wi-Fi. So just a lot of crazy crossover moments, stuff you don't expect like that.
So good. So fucking good.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Did you ever meet the Hulk? Did you say that?
Did not meet the Hulk.
That's sad.
We did not meet the Hulk. I didn't get around to doing that.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Who else did I meet? a alternate version of Kyle Reese, known as Kylie Reese, who was another one of our player characters. This was the
Terminator.
alternate universe version of them. Yeah,
Right.
because we fought a Terminator. We fought a freaking Terminator that was skinned as Kenny Omega, the professional wrestler.
Oh my god.
So he looked like that.
I got this.
Chill out, dickwad.
Chill.
Chill out, dickwad.
We fought Android 17 and 18.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
Let's go.
But then we freed them from their
There was no
their
Cell.
issues and they became allies. No Cell. We didn't deal with that. I almost thought we'd see a Cell. We didn't see a Cell.
Cell showed up. Everyone's fucked, dude.
You know.
You're not gonna be stronger than like Gohan, you know?
Exactly. No.
Nobody's Super Saiyan, right?
Exactly. One of our players keeps asking me about being a Super Saiyan. I go, no, you cannot.
Can I be Super
You can't
Saiyan,
be you can't be Goku. No, it's not allowed.
You must collect all of the Chaos Crystals, just like Sonic the Hedgehog, to go Super Sonic, but not Super Saiyan.
No, my level 20 character is very Super Saiyan adjacent. He's a
Cool.
Zealot Barb.
Okay.
And so he has Divine Fury, and so always I actually have character art drawn up for him. And I imagine every time he rages, his hair grows this kind of green color because his patron is Hela from the Asgardians, that Hela. And his hair grows green and all this stuff. Eventually, he turns out he's related to like the family that wielded Excalibur, so his sword turns into Excalibur by the end. I grow dragon wings whenever I rage, and I can fly around, and I'm too angry to die. It's a very fun Barb to be.
That's awesome.
He's very hard to kill because
you know
even after you're dead, you still keep fighting.
You know about the monk? Like, it's like the soul something, and they just straight up shoot like Kamehameha blasts.
Yeah. I think that was the monk that our my friend was using towards the end. That looks like Florence Pugh.
Nice.
Because that was like one of the ultimate moves. I could shoot the freaking Kamehameha wave. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I think we killed Sephiroth that way. Oh yeah, there was Sephiroth.
Oh, Sephiroth's
in the
there
campaign. Too. He was one of the demon lords. We had to go to the abyss to save the multiverse. And yeah. Oh shit, that's the head. I know that head. I know that scene. Get ready to it.
That's my movie.
So
that's my favorite.
Like
movie.
that was over like 3 years. It was just the craziest stories, and we started out as a Descent to Avernus campaign. Even before that, it was like a Fandelver campaign, but we kept dying so much that we ended up calling the campaign Death Magnetic. Is what our DM kept calling it because we kept dying so much. Mm-hmm. And so he ended up putting a souls mechanic, so that way we wouldn't have to keep remembering everything. So every time our characters died, their souls, their memory would go into another character.
Oh,
and
shit.
so like my barbarian has the memories of every character I played before that.
Oh, nice. Reincarnation.
And eventually they all got to come back to life and live their own lives again. But for a while there, they were all inside his noggin.
Nice. That's incredible.
And we were all like that. It was just insanity.
It's like Hawk Girl and Hawk Man Boy, whatever. Is it Hawk Man or Hawk Boy?
I think it's Hawk.
Hawk
Dude. Hawkman. I think it's Hawkman. I think it's Hawkman.
The Hawken. It's the Hawk.
The Hawks.
Mr. Hawken.
Mr. Hawks.
Mr. Hawks. Yeah, because they're like reincarnated like 100 times or something, right?
Yeah, it was basically that situation. Yeah, and so every time we died, then somebody else would get tapped to help save the universe, and we would get all of their memories through our patron of everybody who died before that, all the trauma, everything.
Nice, no problem.
To keep going forth in the story, basically. And eventually, we finally got a set of characters that was able to make it the whole way through. My God.
That sounds like a lot of sessions. So how many sessions total did it take, you think?
That campaign took 201 sessions, and we have most of them recorded.
Wow.
So I'm actually listening back to it now. I'm what they call the wise man. they're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me.
Yeah.
5 goblins.
See, I got some good ones.
But yeah, we recorded most of them generally for posterity, just to have something to refer back
Yeah.
to if
Cool.
we didn't take notes. And I became the wise man because I like to listen back to all of it.
Yeah,
I used to like to listen back to how I role play and stuff and take notes on how I sound and stuff like that.
See, that's how I know you're really into it, because you do stuff like that. Like, some people might play like here or there, but like, yeah, you're really into it. So that's why I need you to have you here. I need to have you here for this conversation.
It was like 90% of the stuff we did for a long time. Like there were weeks where like I ran a campaign, my buddy our normal DM runs his campaign, then somebody else ran a campaign, and I was playing in like 3 to 4 different campaigns a week. Sometimes twice in 1 week for a campaign.
It's a lot.
Because it was like the primary form of entertainment that we got into. It was like,
but it's
was
cool. It's cool that you could do that. You know what I mean? Like remotely and like all the great experiences, the crazy stories you've told.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I go to remember that stuff, and sure, it happened while I'm at a desk in front of a screen. But when I remember it, I see it.
I see you. I see you.
I see it. It's like a movie. Like I get so inspired by that campaign that I'm writing a completely like fiction story based on one of the characters from that I played from that campaign, like after years, basically. That I'm just I haven't wrote fiction in a while, and I wanted to write a book, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna write this story and see where it goes.
Nice. That's where it starts. We'll see.
Yeah,
well, I'll read it. I'm down.
Yeah, I love it. Like it's great, and that's just one of them. Like the other campaign that I loved was the one that my buddy did, where it was like very Jumanji. We were all kids that were from like the 80s.
Okay.
Teenagers in the 80s, and we got this board game and we played it, and it sucked us into a fantasy world, and we have to survive there basically.
Wow.
And he is very much the similar thing of it. All these different pop culture references. Isekai, yeah. We fought aliens like xenomorphs. We've been to Limblom from Final Fantasy IX.
Oh, you went to Limblom.
Yeah, Limblom and all that shit. So, it's so cool being a little 80s rebel kid. He's one of those original punk rocker kids that hates fucking government. And
that's cool. That's all.
His dad is Homelander. It's a problem.
Oh, boy. Here we go again.
It's a real problem.
Yeah, it gets kind of crazy.
It does.
This wasn't really the 80s, yeah. I don't really have a lot of 80s sounds, I'm realizing. Any more 80s samples?
You have to work on that.
I have this one.
Get some.
Oh, bother.
That's when you poo.
Wait. Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Shit.
I think that one's from the 70s.
What is that from?
Shit.
That's from that's from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's such a quick bite that I couldn't.
Yeah. It's when they go to Castle Anthrax. And they're like, that's not, we know it's not a very good name for a castle. Yeah. They had their grail-shaped light on to try to attract a sexy knight.
That reminds me, there's a Monty Python TTRPG.
Very cool. I would play it.
Yeah, I think it came out last year.
Whoa.
It's like super recent. It either came out already or it's still like about to come out like in Kickstarter or something. But yeah, I know it smashed its goals.
Sick. Well, of course it did.
Oh, it came out this year.
Oh shit, it came out this year. Monty Python's concurricular medieval reenactment program. Wow. This is pretty great. Pretty great.
Oh man.
Love these guys and their weirdness and hilarity.
Oh, the coconut. Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta have the coconut with the dice in it. I checked this out. This looks interesting. Oh, it even has
Arturo
their
owns
art.
it. Arturo has it. Of course he does.
Okay, relax, Arturo, in the fucking chat. All right, I'm not interviewing you. Relax. All right, just relax in that chat. Maybe
this is my time.
Maybe next time. No, we love you. We love you, bro. Yeah, I can't wait to play tabletop games with Arturo, with you, with anyone who will join us. Definitely something to look forward to, I believe.
It's a boatload of fun. It's gonna be a
what-
boatload of fun.
Yeah.
I did have one more little show and tell thing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if like what is next for you in tabletop games. I think you've already sort of answered that, but like anything in the immediate future. But before we do that, think about that as you pull out all your show and tell items. Let's see what you got.
well.
Show us what you got.
Well,
I wish I had
not
stuff
too
on
much
me.
stuff.
But I mean, you'll just have to wait and see. It's not about me. All right. We're trying to see his stuff.
Well, one of the things I'm excited to use, which I'll still be able to use if my players grow a spine and decide to use it, is that they have acquired an item at, I think they're level 9 right now, level 10. They've acquired an item known as the Deck of Many Things and Fates.
Oh yeah, what a great fucking item.
And of course, we're playing online, sure, but what kind of DM would I be if I didn't have the physical deck
Fuck
of
yeah.
Many Things and Fates?
Let's go. Let's go.
So I'm very excited when I decide to pull one of these cards and see, because I'll derail my campaign. I don't care. You know, some of these are nice and easy, gain proficiency and persuasion and all that kind of stuff. Some of them are you die. Some of them are you get sent to a realm made of nothing but wind and hell, and then the adventurer's like, oh, gotta save our friend.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I'm fine with that. I hope they use it. I hope to God they use it.
I'm sure they will.
And then I did hopefully I get to use this again too. These are the potion bottles I was talking about. So then when a character gets a potion, they come in these.
Oh yeah. You were just telling me about this before we started. That's cool as
Yeah.
fuck. Which
Some
potion
cute
is
little
that?
things. This is the Supreme Healing Potion.
Ooh.
So that's a plus 20 to the rolls of the die in there.
Nice.
You have your I got all of them. You got your common.
Sweet.
You got your superior.
Wow.
And I got everything you need. You can handle these. You can't handle my strongest potions, but you can handle these.
Yeah,
so-
I can't gotta chug it. See if you
You know what I'm
survive.
Exactly. My strongest potions. So yeah, those are some cool little doodads that I picked up. As much as I want to get more physical D&D stuff, I have to just be strong and not, considering how little I play in person. But hopefully that'll change.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you're doing a digital version or whatever, you could still have a second cam pointed down and like you could see the die roll, right?
That's
For
true.
your players, so
Just
you
toss
can
them there.
still utilize those potion things and roll it, and they could see it. And, you know what I'm saying? Good shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Handouts. What was the coolest handout you've had for a campaign? You think? Because I know digitally,
Coolest-
you're just showing, like maybe emailing it to them.
Well,
Sending a
yeah.
link.
The coolest handout. Well, I know for me personally, for my campaign, I've been making audio recordings for them to find.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I do I write a little something down. I throw it into Audition, and I do the voices, and I put in special effects and everything. And then
Sweet.
they find those audio logs, or they'll hear a radio broadcast, and it sounds like an old timey radio. I'm real happy with those. They seem to like them.
Cool.
Those are pretty cool. Our dungeon master gave us like just dossiers of information, really detailed dossiers of information that we needed. That was like, I thought it was just so cool.
Nice.
to get that kind of stuff, news reports and things like that. And he had us actually read the news reports, so that would be more interesting than just us reading them ourselves or having him read them to us.
Right.
We got to play those roles and be those voices. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
fun.
great. Yeah, that's something I like to do too, is like with NPCs, I'll just assign them to players. So I'll be like, all right, you're going to play this person. And I'll just tell them like, like if someone asks a certain question, I can give them the information. But I think that's always a fun way to do it, instead of having to just play every character as a game master.
Yeah. In this recent like Pathfinder one, for the basically campaign 2, where some of our characters became gods, he'll if something is wrong with like my course, there's something wrong with my characters, with my god. So there were scenes where he'll like message us Just giving us kind of a general emotional state of that character because he doesn't want to role play our previous characters all like that.
Okay.
So he'll let me jump back in the shoes of my previous
Yeah.
God character and kind of do the scene that way.
Nice. I mean, it makes sense, and that's
You
fun.
know, I'm like, oh gosh,
Yeah.
it feels very, it's nice to not say entirely goodbye to those
Right.
characters.
Yeah. There's history there, and you could keep at it. So that's a reward of playing with a group for a long time and shit like that too. But that shouldn't frighten you from playing, as a newcomer. You got to start somewhere, and I'm sure you'll have fun with whatever group you end up with. But always remember, if you're not having fun, you could always leave. And it's all about consent and what you're comfortable with. Always remember that too. I'll just put that out there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like session 0 is establishing the boundaries of the table and what your players are comfortable with and not comfortable with. Like that's huge. We've been friends for like 10, 15 years. So we have our, comfort levels that we all are aware of. So
right. Which is good. There's been some horror stories I've read on Reddit and stuff. We won't get into that tonight.
Oh yeah.
That could just be like a side video we do one day. We're like, let's just read through some situations and talk about fucked up groups like sicko DMs and shit like that.
Brother, whenever I start to feel bad or down about how I'm running a game or whatever, I just take a moment and look at that and go,
yeah, you're like,
everything's fine.
We're fine. Yeah. I mean, so you sound like a spectacular player, excellent game master. Good shit. Really appreciate you coming on, talking about all this stuff. Any other things you want to mention before we get out of here for the night?
Well, I would say just not to like cheaply plug anything, but at some point you will be seeing TTRPG content from me.
Sweet.
It is my life's work. It's gonna be my life's work to build a campaign setting.
Fuck yeah.
From scratch. That's what Dravenhelm is. It's pretty much me running it for them. Has been like the soft run, just to get everything built out, and then once I get everything built out the way I want it, like I'm gonna come at it hard with like you're gonna see, custom character artwork, and it's gonna be on stream and on YouTube, and I'm gonna be selling campaign modules.
Let's go.
Like writing a full fictional story based on the world, like. Gonna be all in on that. That's pretty much all gonna happen once I finish this campaign I'm running, which is called Arcana Lost. So once I finish Arcana Lost,
sick.
It's gonna be full steam ahead with what I make out of that. So I'm very excited for the future.
What a time!
Fuck yeah!
What a time, baby! On the better side.
Got my dillies on the pepper tank.
Fuck yeah, bro. Sometimes I forget I have the Pootie Tang one, but we're always talking about Pootie Tang every time we hang out.
Look at Pootie Tang TTRPG. My big man's gonna be Dirty D, baby. Dirty D boss fight.
Pull that whip out, that whip belt. What?
Yep, I can make a Dirty D enemy stack block right now. He's highly he's highly vulnerable to soap and water. He takes double damage when he's clean.
Shit. That's incredible. Biggie Shorty. Never forget Biggie Shorty.
Never forget.
Wanda Sykes, the legendary Wanda Sykes, people. Awesome, dude. Where can people find you online? I put a little thing above your head, as you can see.
Oh yeah, there you are. Hey. Yep, you can find me at twitch.tv/FoxySteve, youtube.com/FoxySteve, as well as Blue Sky. Foxy Steve there as well. I'm the same on all the channels.
Just like this right here.
Just like that. Bingo. Just trying to be Persona 5. All right.
If you are watching this later on YouTube, you're already in the right place. Obviously, you can find those links in the description below. Also, let us know. Are you interested in playing tabletop RPGs whereas you weren't before? I hope we persuaded you that it's interesting and cool. Do you play tabletop RPGs? And what do you play? Do you have any interesting stories or systems that we didn't mention? Let us know in the comments below. Also, remember, if you want to watch us live, twitch.tv/NeonPoc Wednesday nights, Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, pretty much one of those nights we're doing something, you just subscribe, you'll see the notification when we go live anyway, or I should say follow. You can subscribe too. That'd be great, because you get our awesome emotes as you would be able to see in chat if you're watching us live. And then also don't forget, we also have Neon Gaming to mention, Odd Valley Studios. A lot of shit going on here. All right, a lot of content coming out. I'm about to do Donkey Kong Bonanza stream on my own channel in just a sec. So you can't stop.
Man, so jealous.
You can't stop the streams. But also don't forget, check this guy out. He be streaming all sorts of awesomeness all the time. I think you're playing Persona 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Yep. I do a little series called Attacking the Backlog, where I go through my backlog of shame and try to finish stuff that I've either started or start stuff that I need to. So now I'm 89 hours into Persona 5, trying to finish that up.
Yeah, and on YouTube, you just posted your Danganronpa videos from those streams where you finished that game up recently, right?
Yep. Fell in love.
Yeah, that was a good old time watching that. I was watching a bunch of it live. I can't watch Persona live because I'm gonna play it one day, and I don't want to spoil anything.
Totally get it. Get it.
Yeah. But check him out. I'm sure you've already played Persona 5 anyway. Steve, the people want to know, what's your favorite color of dice before we leave?
Probably blue. And I have this dice that's blue and green
Nice.
that I love a lot.
Sweet. I have a dope ass one Joy got me that's purple clear, but it has eyeballs in it, like beholder eyeballs. It's like super cool.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's super dope. I don't have any like super like crazy ones like that. I want some though.
We got to get you one, maybe for your birthday or
Oh,
something.
I would love that. I would freaking love that.
All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you for being here. Remember, follow Steve on all the shit. He's a dope dude, and you would be better
Allegedly, I'm a dope dude.
to have him on your feeds. Yeah, allegedly. All right. He's also devious if you're playing one of his twisted games. But again, thanks for being here, dude. We're gonna get the hell out of here. So why don't you say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Later.